podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and this is Randy.
Hello.
Today, we have a lot of stuff to talk about, mostly because we skipped a couple weeks, but also because of a little event that happened today. So we're going to talk about all that.
Everything.
Everything from...
All-inclusive.
All-inclusive. We got this Apple event, new iPhone, blah, blah, new everything, dude.
All of the things.
Got all the things. I got the Apple website up. Let's just roll right into the Apple stuff since it's kind of the new hotness right now. Dude. I want to talk about folds. We never talked about folds on the podcast yet because we got
no, dude. We never talked about folding phones.
No, but
wild, right?
we haven't talked about the Fold 4 since we got them.
True.
You know, so like it's kind of sucky because like I wanted to have that podcast like where we could like rant about the folds, but now we have an Apple event, so like let's just get through the Apple event so we can talk about what matters. You know.
True.
So first things first, I got the Apple website up. I'll just pull it up here. iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14, and 14 Plus, I guess is what they're calling the big one.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it's not Max.
I don't know, like the whole just like naming scheme is weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they know better. I'm sure that they have marketing teams and marketing experts who.
Bro, we will talk about because one of the things I thought was weird was the new Apple Watch Ultra.
Yeah, I thought that name was weird too. I didn't want to bring it up because I wanted to wait till like the watch section. But,
I'm just gonna run down the lineup
too.
And then we'll get into each thing one at a time.
Sure.
So let's see. We got iPhone 14 Pro, iPhone 14. We got AirPods Pro update. Apple Watch, Series 8? Right?
Series 8.
And Apple Watch Ultra. And I guess Apple Watch SE was updated a little bit too.
Yeah.
And that's
I kind of stepped away for that one, so I don't really know what was updated on the SE. Maybe you can...
to be honest, I'm not really in the market for the SE, so I kind of just like...
I'm not in the market for anything.
I toned it out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if I was looking, I'm still interested in like what like the bleeding edge products are, but I don't really care about like this like segment because I feel like they're not really doing any innovation in this segment in like the Watch SE, but like the Series 8 and the Ultra we can talk about. So which product do we want to talk about first, man? Because we got like a couple.
Let's just go in the order of the keynote.
Of the event. So they started with I guess Apple Watch Series 8. And I got it up on the screen, Apple Watch Series 8. We got basically, when I saw this, I was like, okay, this looks like no different. This is the same watch we have already. Yeah.
Does it still run the same SoC?
Well, let me click on the Learn More segment and see what we got here. Go past the fluff, get into the specs. If I can even do it. Let me scroll down. See if I can get what they put out on it. One of the things that I'm seeing here is they just rehashed the same features they already have.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that, right? Like they were showing off, even in the keynote, like features that have been that have come out like 2 and 3 years ago. Yeah,
it's not really any different. So I don't know, man. Like if they have a new SoC, like I don't see a way to tell on their website, but
I think it's called like the S6 or the S7. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the chip inside.
Right.
I don't know if they have an infograph. Like, let me see if I can see something. I don't know. They didn't really like flex it, from what I remember. But I was just tuning out. Like the design to me, it's like there was nothing wrong with the last watch.
Right.
And the new features that this watch added, didn't really excite. Like didn't really get me pumped or anything. I think like for us, they could really only improve this by giving us a new design or like better battery life, right? Like there's not really much more that we need out of a smartwatch.
Sure.
Like the fitness features are cool, but like, I know that you're hyped about like stuff like sleep tracking and stuff, but like...
I do like sleep tracking.
Yeah,
I totally enjoy it.
A big part of that is like, give me a better battery, right? So I don't have to like put it on the charger as much. So like that's really the only thing I was really hoping for is like battery improvements or a design change. And I feel like the Series 8,
we didn't get that in the Series 8.
No.
Neither things.
I mean, the follow-up product though is a little bit more interesting, right? So
I think it's a lot interesting.
Did you see the leaks for this?
I saw the design leaks, but I didn't really
Yeah.
see any of the features. So
New, it's a little bit different design. I mean, it's much like the old one, right? Like same bands obviously work and everything. But like the shape's a little bit different. You got like this on the side here, you have like it kind of sticks out on the side, and the button kind of protrudes, which is supposedly going to make it easier with gloves and stuff to be able to manipulate the watch. 49 millimeter.
it's huge.
I
was talking to Kelly about that for a little bit, and what's interesting to me is like, how is that going to look on like girls' wrists? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know. I don't think it is. Like,
do girls not be active, bro?
yeah, I guess not, dude. Like, I was kind of disappointed that there's only one size because, I mean, like even me, I don't really like there. I don't know if you remember, but there was like a period where like giant watches were a thing, and I was never really
like during that Invicta time, dude.
Yeah, and like I just never really liked that because like to me, it's not really practical to wear this massive thing on my wrist.
Sure.
Like I already bumped my wrist into everything, so like to me, I don't really care if it's a big watch. I just want it to be readable. And like Amanda though, she's got like twig arms, so
does Kelly.
She hates like the big Apple Watch,
like super big.
Yeah, I mean, I like a larger watch. I don't mind. Like I just don't want it to be like obnoxiously large.
Right.
So I'm like okay with the larger Apple Watch, the larger like. What is this one we got now? It's the Galaxy Watch 4
Watch 5 Pro.
Yeah, Watch 5 Pro. Yeah, the Watch 5 Pro. It kind of stands taller than
it does.
I would kind of like, but it doesn't bother me. Right?
I don't think that we can be that guy though, right? Like we can't be that guy that says we prioritize battery life and we want a bigger battery life, and then they give it to us, and then we complain because the watch is bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, and that's why I'm like, I will still take the battery, right?
Same.
Like I'm happy with that.
I would 100% take the battery over a slimmer profile any day of the week.
Yeah,
and like I said, I already have big wrists.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of obvious that's what they've done with this watch, right? Like, look how it's got like almost the same profile as their previous one, but its screen like is just like extruded out. So they clearly made room for a bigger battery, and that's cool. I mean, okay, you know, I'm okay with that. You know, it's weird because the Apple Watch has had kind of a rounded screen, but now on this one, it's like flat as a result. You see how that is? And so it's a little bit different, you know, like, I don't know, like the rounded screen kind of has like this like cool quality to it. So it's going to be a different watch, you know? What do you think of the new button, dude?
I like the button. Like I'm a big fan of that orange color anyway, but like, here's the problem with me. Like,
I know what you're going to say.
As you know, and as a podcast may know, I have like, still do like, and this is no exaggeration, I have like 60 Apple bands. You know what I mean? So like, getting that to match is not going to be, you know, something that like I'm looking forward to if I was buying them, if I was in the market for that.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of liked when they would stick with like neutral colors, but like orange is really predominant, and like I get it, right? Like orange kind of fits in that sporty, space of like sportiness and outdoorness and ruggedness and stuff. Like I like orange a lot, but like that's going to be hard for a fashion accessory.
So you know what's funny is I said this exact same thing when they added the red ring to the Apple Watch. Right. They changed it for this one. It's orange, so that's good. It matches, but yeah, like it's funny that like it's like okay, I can deal with the red ring, but this orange huge button's a little bit more. It's louder, right? It kind of crosses the line a little bit. So yeah, it's a huge statement to have that big orange button.
It is.
So
and,
you know,
I don't know if you noticed, but that red ring is orange on that watch as well.
Yeah, I do see that, and I like that. At least they color matched.
I do like that, yeah, because if it was red, it would look weird, right?
Yeah, it would have been tacky. So I'm glad that they kind of matched the two sides. I really like this color. This like it's the same exact kind of look as the Galaxy Watch. I'm
so jealous of that, dude. I should have got the titanium. But like their website cucked me, you know?
Yeah, it didn't give you good product shots of it, so it looked kind of lame. But like some of the shots did it proper and then some didn't. You know, that's kind of where they had a misstep on it. they weren't consistent with the appearance of it. But this looks exactly the same kind of color, this titanium, and I kind of dig this color.
I do too.
I absolutely
I'm super jealous. Like when you showed me an actual picture of yours, I was like, oh man, I goofed.
Yeah, it's almost as if like Samsung had like inside information onto what Apple was gonna do, and they just like, we're gonna do it first.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's kind of funny. I'm sure
just
they
want
have.
To also
like,
point out too, just playing devil's advocate a little bit here, that I love the Watch Ultra, and if I were in the Apple camp, I would 100% buy one.
Yes,
but they're giving us the same materials as the Watch 5 Pro, and they're charging significantly more. But I also do want to say that I think the Watch Ultra is cheaper than I expected it to be, given all the sensors inside of it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think that, and we would have to look at the spec sheet side by side, but there was a couple like advantages that the Apple Watch Ultra was kind of like touting. Like they're like, hey, we have like more GPS, like dual band, dual frequency GPS now for like super accurate location.
That's really cool though. I like that because
it is
even
good.
driving in New York. I'm not sure if you've ever done it, but like GPS does not work there.
Just because of the tall buildings and stuff?
I don't know if it's because of the tall buildings or because it's literally like congested. You know what I mean? Like there's so many people using GPS. I would imagine that maybe it's like, a combination.
Right.
But I could tell you like right now that if you ever drive to New York and you're like, all right, I'm going to GPS to like 42nd Street, you better know in your head where 42nd Street is because your car is not going to follow anything.
Yeah, okay. That's a little rough. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've driven through New York, so I can't say.
So yeah, just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'll say that this is definitely like really cool. I like the I like the improved battery life. I like the design. I like that you're getting titanium.
I do too. Yeah.
Because like before,
awesome.
Wasn't it like super premium, like expensive before?
Yeah. So like I told Kelly this too because like she's obviously an Apple girl, right? So like before the podcast, I called her and we talked about the event a little bit. But I brought up the point that like I literally bought a stainless steel with cellular last year and it was $7.99.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So like I'm actually kind of happy with the price,
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like they really put it in the right pricing. It's still expensive, but it's also like not as expensive as like what we've had before. So it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, that's reasonable to me. And I really like these new bands too, like the Alpine Loop and the Ocean Band. Like, I don't know. They always come out with like a new band that they make me want every time. I don't know what it is. It's like
I feel the same way, man. Like their bands are just awesome. Like I want all of the new ones, even that Ocean Boy.
I know. I really hope that we get like knockoff bands that I can stick on because they've done that with every previous band. Like I have knockoff Apple kind of sport loop,
and I like that adventure one with like the little like metal like clipper boy.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that concerns me about that one is like well, maybe not, because like a traditional watch band is that way, but like it's not infinitely adjustable. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I know. So you'll have like, hopefully it'll have a good fit for you. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Could the previous Apple Watches be used like a dive watch? Like they were kind of like flexing this.
I mean, so like here's where the flex comes in. So like all smartwatches, ours included, go down to 5 atmospheres. Right. This one goes down to 10.
Okay, so you're getting like literally double.
Yeah, but like we're talking about like how many people do you know buy an Apple Watch and they're like, I'm going to go down 10 atmospheres? Probably not a lot, but I'm sure there's a market for it, right? Like people obviously do it. So
yeah, so when I lived in Hawaii, I actually knew quite a few divers. So it's like a big thing there. Sure. Like people like there's a lot of divers there. I worked with a guy that did like he did like training and stuff for a dive shop. Sure. And like there's definitely markets for this type of thing.
Well, like I mean, cool. 5 atmospheres is still theoretically called a dive watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So like I don't know what the
like how deep
the cutoff is, right? Of like I'm a casual diver or I need 10 atmospheres. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. I don't even know how deep 10 atmospheres is, so I can't say shit. But I mean, it's kind of.
I think it's 100 meters.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, shit. Like I don't have any like frame of reference for like how deep that is, I guess. So like, or how often like people dive that deep or what, you know what I mean? Like what's the average kind of dive? I don't know. So it's cool. I don't know if like you're really going to want to use your Apple Watch in like saltwater conditions like that, but I guess people do. I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool. I like the orange accents they got for everything. They really thought of the design, I mean,
like,
for this
I don't
thing.
know, like maybe popular, unpopular opinion. I've been really jiving with the post-Ive era.
Yeah, I think they've really done a great job at like giving us products that like they
don't compromise thinness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about like he was all about making it like as thin as possible. And now it's like, no, we're going to give you the products that you want now.
Right.
Finally. You know what I mean? So that like that's great. You know? So yeah, totally agree with you there. I don't know,
like,
man.
It's just weird, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think this is a great watch. Although it's a little bit disappointing that we never got to see the Apple Watch that had like those thinned out sides like an iPad.
I think that was a bad idea. You know, I've said on the podcast, I said, this is probably like one of those prototype boys that like someone saw and they got like, and they took a picture of it, you know, and they're like, this is it, you know?
Yeah.
Like just like, you know, like here's 4 samples of what the next Apple Watch can be, you know?
Yeah. I think you're right. So, you know, this Apple Watch, if you think about it,
it does have some semblance of that. With like the flat top.
It does, but in addition, it also still has some of their newer design language, kind of like with the roundedness of like the new Macs and stuff, right?
No, I agree.
I feel like I think
it's very well designed.
Yeah, it looks like an Apple product still.
It does.
It doesn't like one of the things I thought would look weird with the flat design was how their band connector is. Because it's like designed kind of rounded.
Yeah, there were just too many things, and like I think you and I have talked about this previously. That just was like they're probably not going to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in summary, dude, what do you think about the Watch Ultra? And then we'll move on.
I think that if I was in the Apple camp, excuse me,
that would
which
be
I kind of am always pro Apple, right? But I'm just not using one right now, but like if I were using an iPhone right now, I would buy an Ultra. Like it would have been ordered already.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's just because it's fresh. You know what I mean? Like I'm not an adventurer, I'm not a diver, I'm not anything. I do appreciate long battery life, and I do like the look of it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I don't know. I'm in love with it. I would get it myself, but yeah, I'm not in the. And that's the thing. Like, I wish that there was like a way to use it like by itself and not with like a iPhone. You know,
I agree, man.
Like if there was
I could
any
use
way
it with my Fold, I would 100% buy it.
I know, like, because that's like, it's still the best smartwatch out there, I think.
Oh, I agree.
Unless you want like a specific feature, like if you want the Garmin for its crazy battery life or something.
Yeah, like, or like the solar screen on the Garmin, so you have to charge them.
Exactly. Like you can still get like features elsewhere that you can't get on the Apple Watch, but like it's just the best watch.
No, I agree with that.
You know, it's to me the Apple Watch like never lags. It's always like it's great
consistent.
Performer.
It's
yeah,
consistent.
exactly. Like even the Galaxy Watch 5, like I can get it to like be slow as shit. I could like not really get my Apple Watch to do that.
Since you brought it up, can I tell you something that kind of, I don't say it bothers me, but it's something I had to get used to.
Okay.
So with the old Galaxy Watch that had like the like normal screen, or I'm sorry, the like normal rotating bezel on it.
Right.
You could just turn that and then that woke up the watch. But if I look at my watch and then I just go to like use like the digital bezel, I have to like tap it first to wake it up before I can actually use that.
Oh yeah, that's a learning curve.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely is.
yeah, I mean for me it's not, because I went from the Galaxy Watch 4.
Sure.
I didn't have the classic, so I didn't have the rotating bezel.
Right.
And so I was kind of already used to the tap game. But yeah, I know what you're saying. And like the raise to wake, like even though it feels like it's actually a little bit better than the Watch 4, sometimes I'm like doing the wrist, workout, like, come on, bro, wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a lot less frequent now.
Sure.
Than like it has been in the past. But yeah, I mean, so like, would you still prefer the mechanical rotating bezel?
Oh, for sure, 100%, without question.
Okay.
I prefer any sort of physical button over something touch as on like something as small as a watch.
Right.
You know? But
that's why I'm glad that the digital crown still exists on the Apple Watch. Like, I'm sure that eventually, like, you know, because the buttons have always been like going away, even in cars and stuff, like in Teslas. But like, there's kind of been this like backlash from it. People are upset that they gotta like look at the screen to adjust their climate control in their car. People are upset, you know. So I feel like there's this like movement to bring back some of that stuff.
Sure.
Certain companies like Ford and stuff, and like the Mach E and stuff, they still have like physical ways to adjust
I think that's cool.
That stuff.
Like even Kelly's new Tucson has like capacitive volume buttons, and it's kind of annoying, you know.
Yeah, I know.
It's super hard to adjust.
Yeah, so like I feel like there's like an in between we need to reach, because like you know what really sells, you know, like to me, like whenever I get like a good knob, dude, you know what I'm talking about? Like, dude, you ever get a good knob?
Solid knob, dude.
Bruh.
I was gonna say, like, the digital crown on the Apple Watch is a good knob.
Oh yeah, it feels great. Like it's like, oh yeah, dude, I just want to twist this. I don't need to, but like I'm just gonna run my finger over it because it's like, oh yeah. It's like like every now and again you get a good button, a good knob, a good switch.
Right.
Like that shit's good, dude. Tactile stuff. Like that's still valuable.
I agree.
You know, it's kind of like it's why people are so big into mechanical keyboards. You know,
tactile, dude.
Because it's like it matters. It's like a part of the experience. Like people, these touchscreen people, like it's cheaper. It's like configurable as hell, but it's also kind of loses something at the same time. There's kind of like sweet in betweens. I'm going off on a tangent now, but there's like, you know how like you got like the Taptic engine and like the Apple trackpad. That's kind of like a good in between where you retain the tactility, but you lost the mechanical action. So, but you know, they compensated, so it still feels great to use an Apple trackpad. You know,
no, it really does. Although I've been having a slight issue with mine. I don't know if you've had a slight issue with yours at all.
I don't know.
But sometimes it doesn't happen all the time. I would say maybe 3 times a week. And this is over the course of like, maybe I open it, let's say I open it 12 times a day. So this is probably over the course of like 93, 94 opens. So like not that often, but frequently enough that like I notice it. I'll have to wait a few seconds before like my trackpad actually turns on. So like there'll just be like a dead sheet of glass and then it'll work again. But like,
yeah, you know, I've had that recently where I had to like turn my like hard shut off my Mac because I couldn't get it to respond. I was like, what the hell? Like my trackpad just decided to stop.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what was the deal with it. Yeah, I had that same kind of issue, and I was like, okay, well, what do I do? I couldn't figure out what to do. I put it to sleep, woke it back up, it didn't do it, fix it. I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Like, it's been very, like, I haven't had to do that very often, but there has been occasions where you got to, like, hard shut off your Mac. And, like, that sucks because
it does suck, yeah.
It's like you want to praise Apple for making this, like, amazing software experience for you, but they, you know, there's still glitches. Nothing is perfect.
Yeah.
In today's software world, you know, it is what it is. So let's move on to the next product, man. We got AirPods Pro. What do you think, dude?
I'd have to hear them. You know, like I'm really glad that they stuck to the design. I think that's kind of important for headphones because like if people get used to a certain feel, like that's what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. Right. Like these have already felt really good in the ear. Like I love my AirPods Pro. I still use mine, and I put them through the washing machine. They got all banged up. They're still a little bit jank when it comes to their noise cancellation and pass through now. Like the microphones, like have never recovered from going through the washing machine that one time. But like I've been like, I you know, these were expensive. I'm gonna keep using them, you know, and they still sound fine. Like they literally sound fine still. It's just like the noise cancellation. Like I've had to run them. It's kind of like actually, who had the same thing happen? It was
Linus probably.
Not Linus, but Snazzy Labs. What's his name? Right. Shit.
Quinn,
of course. Yeah, Quinn said he had the same thing. He's actually washed his multiple times, and he had the same exact microphone kind of issue where his like pass through and noise cancellation never really worked the same. So all he did was turn it off, and so he's been using his off, you know, and like that's basically how I use mine now. I just turn off those features, and then it's like, okay, it's just like regular in-ears at that point, you know,
Right.
With just no noise cancellation at all. So I've been using mine like that, and they've been fine. But I've been looking to upgrade, and that's where like I've talked to you about like the Sony XM4s, like the in-ears. I've talked to
I
you,
love those,
you know,
man. Like as someone who's like super into audio, they sound so good.
right. And like, so I've been looking at all these options, like the Pixel Buds Pro recently, I think came out, the new, what's the Samsung one? They got the Buds or
Galaxy
something.
Buds Pro.
Yeah. The Buds Pro.
Those seem really nice. Those seem really nice.
So like, you know, and then because I've been such a big fan of the AirPods, because I always felt like they were the gold standard, I was like, what's going to come out with the AirPods Pro, the next gen, what's going to be the new thing? And it looks like, you know, we have a new chip, H2 chip. They're just saying it's going to be more powerful for like, I don't really feel like you're getting a ton of advantages on the audio fidelity side. Like, yeah, sure.
I don't mean to cut you off, but did they mention anything about the new Bluetooth standard, the 5LE one?
I don't recall hearing anything about that.
It's like, I don't know, like if they have it and that's like just too technical for an Apple thing. You know what I mean? Like maybe not though, but like,
right.
I'd be curious to see if they have the new LE standard.
I'm really curious as well. I don't know anything about it, but you know, we'll see.
It's basically power efficiencies, less interference, but the power efficiencies is always welcome, right?
Yeah.
So
a couple things I want to bring up. So I actually was watching some XM4 reviews today, and one of the problems I watched the Verge one, by the way, and one of the problems I had with it had nothing to do with like sound quality, but microphone quality.
Okay.
Because it sounded bad, dude.
I don't
like. They had like several different. They were testing like the audio quality, like you know, with a phone call, and like, dude, they sound like bad, like compared to the others.
I mean, you can call me. Admittedly, I use my phone probably never.
Okay.
So
no, and that's like the only reason I bring that up is like that's a use case. Like I'll be at work and I'll take calls through my AirPods.
Sure.
And so I kind of like. And every time, like I've asked people, like, can you tell a difference between like me being on the phone and me being on my AirPods? And people can't tell the difference. But like the XM4s like sounded like pretty bad on the demo.
I can't speak to that just because I've never used.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But it sounds like when it comes to audio fidelity and like even the noise cancellation, like they're pretty on par, if not better than the AirPods Pro first gen.
I think they're second to none when it comes to noise cancellation.
And they have better battery. And so it's like, okay, so like I was seriously considering them until I found out about the audio quality thing. And then I was just like, you know what? Go figure that like there was a compromise somewhere with a non-Apple product. Like it's like that's what like leads me to think I should get the AirPods Pro second gen. It's like Apple, whenever they're designing something, they front to back think of all the use cases you'll have, and then they basically go, okay, we got to make sure that it's like pretty good in every single use case, and whether it be taking calls, you know, whatever. But like I feel like Sony was like, okay, we need to beat them in noise cancellation and audio quality. But then, like, they kind of forgot about, oh, you got to use this to make calls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I wish I could weigh in on it a little better.
Right. I mean, they did a really good job, like, iterating. Because, what was it, the in-ear XM3s or something? They were, like, kind of...
They were big boys.
Big.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, it was kind of like...
I returned my XM3s because they weren't comfortable. Okay. But these are super comfortable.
Yeah, like the XM4s improved in every way. The case was way better. Like the first gen case was like a chonker. And so like they went down, slimmed it down. Like the ergonomics seemed better.
Kind of fickle a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But I really appreciate how the wireless charging coil is on the bottom and not on the back. It just looks cooler. I don't know. Right. It sounds really lame and dumb, and I know. But like, I just like that the bottom of the case.
Oh, so you kind of like sit it and it's standing up, kind of thing. Oh, that's neat. Yeah. No, I mean, it just kind of I don't know. It just looks good. Yeah, I gotta say that's cool. But yeah, so basically, what we got with the AirPods Pro second gen, new chip on board. So the idea is it's going to improve your noise canceling. They say, you know, higher fidelity sound and stuff. I'm not really convinced it's going to give you that. But they're advertising 2 times more active noise cancellation. But then they have like a little, you know, asterisk here. So let's see what that says.
You know what I thought about that was they advertise those extra small ear cups. So are they saying that noise cancellation is coming from a better seal, or are they saying that comes from their algorithm?
I think the idea is the algorithm.
Okay.
So they said the sample rate on the pull rate for like listening to incoming sounds and then processing and then adjusting your noise canceling audio, like that's supposed to be much more improved. Okay. That's the idea behind it. So that's why I'm not pulling the trigger on like the XM4s right now, because like honestly, they sound like a huge improvement compared to like the first gen AirPods Pro, right? The XM4 seem like they're better. So like I would, even though I would sacrifice in that one area to get like everything else, I would think about getting it. But now that there's this up to 2 times more active noise cancellation on the AirPods Pro 2nd gen, I'm like, okay, well, let me wait, because I want to see what people say about that specific point. Because like, just like, you know, I really like noise cancellation.
I just like that the XM4s are pretty much brand agnostic.
Yeah.
Like I get feature parity on my XM4s if I'm using them on an iPhone, or if I'm using them on my Fold, or if I'm using them on my computer. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's kind of cool to me.
So like for me, I've never really cared about like the extras. Like the like here's the thing, let me tell you why. Okay? So when in the beginning of the Bluetooth like wireless like AirPods came out. Like that was the first time, right? AirPods came out. Like I had Bluetooth headphones before. Do you remember like the Jaybirds? Do you remember those?
Yeah.
I had Jaybirds, right?
I had Jaybirds too. XTs, I think.
Yeah, and like they weren't like individual pods. They had like a cable.
They had a cable that like went behind your neck.
Yeah, but they were like pretty good. Like I remember MKBHD loved them back then. And that was before like AirPods. Then AirPods came out and they were like individual in-ears, and they were like, okay. And then they had features like on top of just being like a Bluetooth headphone. They had like you know, easy pairing and like other like kind of niceties that like you couldn't get other places, right? So like I feel like that was like the really beginning of when they started to have like these like features on top of just Bluetooth, right? It was like when they came out with like we got the whatever chip inside that lets you do these additional features. And then like everyone else started to do them and stuff. But I never really adopted features beyond just like, I got Bluetooth headphones. Because I was just so used to like, ever since the Jaybirds, I use every single Bluetooth headphone the same, dude. I pair it with my device and then I use it. Like, that's it. I adjust volume control with the freaking volume rocker on my phone. And I freaking hit play pause on my phone, you know? Like, like that's like... I can do that with every headphone I got. It don't matter if it's a freaking AirPod, if it's like a XM4, like they all can work the same until you start to get into those like proprietary features. And then even then, like we're talking about mobile phones. If I bring my headphones to my laptop, it's back to being like a normal Bluetooth headphone again. I don't got those cool features without the app or whatever. So like to me, if like I can't go from my laptop to my phone to whatever Steam Deck, whatever device I'm using a Bluetooth headphone for, if I can't get the exact same like features on all of them, then I don't ever adopt them. So like that's where
you can with the XM4s.
Well, yeah, but like if I pair XM4s with my Steam Deck, where am I getting these extra features? They're gonna pair like Bluetooth headphones.
That's fair. All right.
To Linux or like my Windows desktop or like my laptop. Like I might get some extra features if there's like an app or something, but like some devices, like I'm not gonna get every weird feature that I would get like if I downloaded like whatever Sony app they got, or you know. Like, yeah, I'm going to get, like, some of those cool Apple-like features on my Android phone, but I don't buy headphones for those features. Like, you know what I mean? So, like to me, because I literally go from, like, I'll be at work. I use my AirPods Pro on my Steam Deck. And then, like, I'll walk out of the office, and then I hit connect on my phone, and now they're on my phone, you know? And now they're,
for me,
you know?
For me, I like the XM4s for features like that. Right. Because like I have them paired to my phone 95% of the time, right? So I like features that are like, oh, you know, like it's going to detect when I'm stationary and turn on active noise canceling. And then if I get up and start walking, it's going to put pass through on. And then when I sit down again, it's going to turn ANC back on automatically.
I mean, so that's a feature that's like built into the headphone, right? That's like it doesn't matter what device you use, I don't think, at that point, right?
I would
like,
assume so.
It sounds like that's a feature, like that's really cool, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the AirPods Pro, right? Like, you know how like you can squeeze the little dangler and then turn on and off noise cancellation and pass through, right? But like dangler. The lame thing is you can't turn off active noise cancellation. Or, like you can't just turn off. You know how like there's a third setting which is off? You literally can't do that from the headphone. You have to use an iPhone. You have to use an Apple product. So if I'm paired with my Mac, like I can go to the drop down and click off. But literally if I'm squeezing the little, you know, the AirPod, the nub, it's like going to turn it on and it's going to turn it through pass through. There's no off. And because my fucking headphones are jacked, like that matters. So yeah, there is that. You know what I mean?
I get it.
And there's no volume adjustment on the first gen. The second gen has a new touchpad on it. So now you can slide up and down for volume. That's kind of cool. You know,
no, I think that's pretty neat.
Because there was no way to do that before. So that, you know, the XM4s, can I ask you, like, what kind of button, is it touch? Like, how do you adjust, like, the headphone? Like, does that have a button on it? Like,
it's all capacitive.
Okay. Is it like a swipe? Or touch?
There's many things you could do, right? Okay. So, like, if I get a notification, I tap the right one. Okay. If I want to go forward a track, I swipe right. And then, like, you can customize, like, what a long press does on left ear, where a long press does on right ear.
Oh,
what
that's
short
cool.
Press does on left ear, what short press does on right ear. You know, so, like, I have, like, a double tap for assistant, single tap to read notifications.
Right.
Left ear, single tap is play pause. Double tap is stop, like, just stop music. And then swipes are previous track and next track, which is how I have it set up.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. At least they let you customize it, which is something that Apple really doesn't give you that, like the full
I was going to get there when we went in the iPhone because like I feel like like Apple has that whole mentality of like, this is the best way to do it. If you disagree, you are wrong.
Mm-hmm. Isn't this weird? You can use the Apple Watch charger with the new MagSafe charging case.
Yeah, which is also weird to me too, because why on earth couldn't we use any wireless charger to charge the Apple Watch before?
Dude, you're exactly. In fact, same with the Galaxy Watch. Why can't I put my Galaxy Watch on the regular wireless charger? Why do I gotta have like the?
You can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
You're a liar. Hold on.
You totally can.
You're a fat liar,
dude. You totally can.
Hold on. I'm testing right now, dude.
Sure.
It's not doing it though. Hold on. I have to put it on a Samsung one, dude, or a phone.
Well, yeah, I have a all of my wireless chargers are Samsung.
So that's why, you son of a bitch. So I have like your no-name key. You know, what is it? How do you say it? Key wireless charger? How do you say it?
Yeah.
I have like a no-name cheap-ass one that I got on Amazon that looked pretty good, and it was cheap. And like, yeah, so I guess I could have went with the Samsungs, huh?
I mean, it's $39 and does 15-watt wireless, so I just bought 3 of them.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's a good price.
Yeah.
To be honest, I probably paid like $30 for these.
And plus, I like the Samsung ones because they come with fans in them. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's like it help keeps the phone cool to like not damage the battery.
Right.
And like the fan is like a knock to it. Like it's not a knock to it, right? But like you can't hear it. So.
Right. Yeah. So I guess spatial audio. I'm just getting back into the headphone game. Whatever, personalized spatial audio. So this was the thing where you have to like take a photo of your ear type of thing. I watched a video of somebody doing that on the XM4s. You made up a great point that it's already existed. So can you just like go into that? Like, what the hell am I taking a picture of my ear? Like, so like Sony knows what my ears look like.
The best way I can describe it for the podcast and you is probably like, you know how like it has that seal test?
Yeah.
So like it does something like that, right? So like you do that and you register a baseline. And then it's like take a picture of your left ear, take a picture of your right ear. And then it basically applies DSP based off of what the shape of your ear is.
You're shitting me.
And then it has you do it again. And then once it gets like the response it wants, it says like, yep, you're set up for ideal spatial audio. So
oh my God. So it's literally trying to figure out like how you hear sound.
Correct.
Personally.
Correct. Because
so like
everyone's ear canal is different, right? So like how sound hits your ear is different than how sound's going to hit my ear.
Right. You know, I think it's, if you're using the camera, it's more like how fucking huge are your ear flaps.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like that would have to do
how
with like,
your
your kind of like perception, your not perception. What's like, I guess positional audio is really what it is, right? Yeah. Like, I guess like that would be where that would matter. But like, I want to see some studies if like they actually, the DSP they're doing actually makes any difference. Like, I want to know if this is.
I'm sure it makes a difference. Let me preface by saying I'm 100% sure it makes a difference because any DSP will make a difference. Whether or not that's a perceptible difference is the question that I would ask.
Yeah, perceptible is one thing, but also like desirable. Like, is it even like worth doing? Like, you know how like we already have like really great. I won't call it spatial audio, but like there's already 3D audio that's like really freaking good, right? Like there's already like you've played video games with like
sure,
really good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and like the way they do positional audio so well is like we already know how like sounds behind you like sound different than sounds in front of you, and like they just computationally make those adjustments to the sounds. And then your brain does the rest, you know what I mean? Because it knows how to recognize those differences. So, like, we already have that. But, like, the fact that they're saying that they can improve upon that already refined, you know, science with the shape
it's a little bit different
ear.
For in-ears, right? Because the way in-ears deal more with seals. So, like, the way you would get that experience is different than the way I would get that experience, whereas like over ear or traditional headphones, the shape of your ear matters considerably less.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, in theory, so like I guess if you have over ears, then your entire ear could be used a little bit in the audio experience, whereas an in-ear would be only like from the headphone on, I guess, maybe. I don't. I don't know. So what they're doing is compensating with their DSP, theoretically. Okay, I mean, neat, but I also don't know if I want Apple to know what my ears look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, that's like a privacy.
They scan your face, dude.
I mean, yeah, Face ID, but they say like, oh, it stays on the device. You know, like the security enclave. You know what I'm saying? If you're Samsung, Samsung like to say that you have a defense grade security. Defense grade, dude.
Defense, dude.
Whatever that means.
Get this defense out of here, dude.
I'm like, I think they said defense grade. I was like, what are you saying, dude? Like,
defense grade.
What is defense grade defense? Like
defense grade defense.
Yeah, I'm just like,
dude,
what do you?
Dude, my fence is defense grade, dude.
I know. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay, but anyway, I guess to summarize. We'll just have to see if these are good. These headphones.
I'm sure. To summarize, I'm sure they're great.
I like how they have a speaker in the case. Like it'll.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. Here's my predictions.
Yeah,
they are going to be better than XM4s in every aspect except sound quality.
Interesting.
I think that they'll have better microphones. I think that they'll
noise cancellation?
Probably have on par or better noise cancellation. But I think that the XM4s are still going to win in sound quality.
Yeah. I think that if that was the case, I think I would get the AirPods because of the better call quality. The sound quality is acceptable already. So because like I don't really care about like super hi-fi when I'm just like at work. But noise cancellation definitely does matter. So
Right.
like that's where like I'd really see what has the better noise cancellation, and they're advertising 2 times better. I don't know what that means exactly.
Yeah,
They say better than the
that's
last
not
gen.
really a quantifiable number, you know. So
Exactly.
I don't know. I could tell you that I have the XM3s and I have the
Right.
XM4s now, and out of all of the ones I used, they have the best ANC.
Well, I'll
By
say
far.
this: like I trust Sony with ANC. Like I've had the XM3s, like the over ears,
Mm-hmm.
and I still have them. Amanda's
Sure.
using them, but yeah, like those things were so good, and
Yeah.
like so I really like they completely impressed me. Like they were the leading noise canceller. Like Bose couldn't compete with the XM3s.
Yeah,
you know?
like these, dude. Like these
Yeah.
are wild to me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So I'm still they're still on my radar. I'm gonna wait for reviews. I need people to AB the XM4s next to the AirPods Pro
Sure.
2nd gen, and then I'll make a decision. But like, yeah, I mean, it's an update. It's a little bit minor, but it could be major. It depends on sound quality. It depends on noise cancellation.
Sure. No.
From the
No, I think
outside,
so
it
too.
looks like the same. From the inside, it might be huge. I don't know. We need people to hear them. But anyway, I guess we can move on, dude. Next product. What do we got? iPhone 14.
iPhone 14.
So, I mean, we got a big one now, right?
Yeah, we got the plus, dude. The
So
plus size.
we got a
dude.
plus 6.1
Plus size models
and
are
6.
in, dude. No body shame.
I'm not body shaming anybody, dude. I mean, but like, look at this, dude. What is the deal? We got a notch on this bitch. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
that's kind of old, man. Like, I don't know. Like,
Notchy boy, dude.
we're in a post-notch era now with the.
Are we, dude? Are we,
well,
dude?
we're not there yet. We're gonna get there, but I mean, here we go. I mean, it's a fun phone, man. Amanda's still rocking her 13. You know, she got like
Does she have just a raw dog 13?
yeah, she does.
What color?
And I don't remember. I think she's got a case on it. Like it might be the red one. I don't know. I don't remember. I think it is the red one actually. And it's really, I mean, I love the feel of her phone. Like every now and again, like you want to hold an iPhone and go, yeah, dude, this is great. Like she was rocking a caseless for a bit, and I was like, oh yeah, iPhone.
Yeah, dude, it feels good, but like, not for any spoilers, you need to feel the new Fold without a case on it again, because it has that same feel, bro.
It does. It feels special.
Like the hard edge sides and stuff. It feels so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that being said, Kelly's friend has a 13 Pro Max with like a thicker case on it, like an OtterBox or something. I don't think it was an OtterBox, but it was like a thicker case, and it literally felt heavier than my Fold.
Oh wow,
like,
really?
Huh.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. Like,
and then I
you
looked
can't-
it
those
up,
cases.
and with the weight reduction in the Fold and the weight increase in the 13 Pro Max, it's only like a 47-gram difference,
right?
which is, you know, noticeable, but like smaller than you would think. So like if she had like a chunky case on it, it probably was heavier, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess like, yeah, it all depends on the case.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And nobody's really using their phones caseless. I really don't know anyone that does. Even I wanted to, but I couldn't pull it off.
So
yeah.
not to skip topics again, but I've actually watched a few videos recently of like people doing Fold 4 reviews,
Right.
and they say that this is the only phone they feel comfortable rocking caseless
You know, I felt that way too, you know,
because
with my
of how
Fold
like
3.
easy it is to grip it.
Yeah, like I never felt like it was a problem, but my Fold 3, like in its early life, I was caseless because first off, it was hard as hell to get cases that were good. The Fold
Sure.
3 came with a case, it sucked. And like nobody came out until the latter case came out. Like nobody made a case that was like worthy.
No,
for me.
yeah, dude, that's a solid case.
Yeah. 100%. Like the Samsung case, like for the Fold 2, remember the Samsung case was like just the back.
backside.
Yeah, it was good. It was carbon fiber. It had a kickstand.
Yeah,
It was
Aramid,
fine.
I think it was called, right?
Yeah, and I mean that
Yeah.
was a good case, but like it was only one part of it, so it was like it might as well be caseless. And
Right.
then like so that really it was just for the kickstand, and then the latter case came out, and that was like actually a full cover situation on the Fold 3, and that was okay, and I used it. But like when I was caseless, like I ended up scratching my phone quite a bit. Like I had I peeled my front because that it came with a front protector on the 3. I peeled it, and then I ended up scratching it. I dropped it on the hinge. I had like a ding. And like, I was just like, yeah, I think I need a case. Like I kind of roughed my phone up a little bit, and I was trying really hard to make it a 2-year phone. I was really trying, because like I'm tired of buying phones every year, like, and spending that money. So
I get it, but I also don't get it.
Well, the reason I say that is like, I feel like we're in an era where like we're not getting major year-over-year improvements. Like even the 3 and the 4, there wasn't really any huge jump to make me upgrade. The only reason I did it was to get a phone refresh.
I think the battery life is wild on the 4, but we are no longer talking about iPhone. So
yeah, it's we'll get on that topic
reel it back
when we get the chance. I mean, let's just get through the rest of the event, because really there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to the iPhone 14. I mean, it seems like, better. Oh yeah, I guess there's better cameras. Like they talk about the low light improvements. I think that the Pro has.
I feel like those low light improvement things are like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Misleading, and like everyone does it, right? Like it's not just Apple, right? But like it's just, I don't know.
Well, we have a new sensor though, right? Like
I don't know if we have technically a new sensor in the 14. And I thought
I know
it was
the Pro
that was in the Pro last year.
Well, yeah, maybe you're right.
One, but
okay, yeah, that's valid.
The Pro did get a new one.
So they're just saying the iPhone 14 is better than the iPhone 13.
To the iPhone 14, but not new to the iPhone lineup.
Then I'm not really interested in what they got here. Like I'm just looking through. I guess they also get the new satellite feature.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah, and like the idea behind the satellite thing, let me get to it. I think I passed it up. But the idea is like if you're out in the wilderness and you don't have a cell tower
out
nearby,
in the woods and pregnant.
Yeah, if you're out in the yeah, that was funny. But the idea, if you're out in the wilderness, oh yeah, they made a big stink about this too, the crash detection.
Yeah.
If you're in an accident, they'll know, dude. And then they'll advise you to call emergency services. But yeah, the SOS via satellite, so it can use it can make a call from satellite. That's cool, but only in emergencies. And oh yeah, by the way, it's not free. It's free for 2 years, but you got to pay for that peace of mind when you're off the grid, as they say in their marketing here. So what do you think about that, dude?
I think it's weird because like I think that the amount of time someone is going to use that, just give it to us, Yeah,
so I'm pulling it up here and seeing if they have any kind of like cost numbers, because I'm really curious. Like, what do you think it's going to cost a year for like to be able to in emergencies use the SOS service?
Well, like it bothers me because like people don't really plan to like
be in an emergency.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. And it's like, why wouldn't they just give it to you? Like you were saying earlier, it's like if it's an emergency, like why aren't they just? It's like you were joking with me earlier about it. Like, oh, sorry, you're fucked. You didn't pay for the cellular.
Why didn't you pay for this, dude? I guess you're gonna die now. And then like I'm sure it doesn't process credit cards. So like if you had to buy it in emergency, you couldn't even do that, dude.
I know. It's so funny. Like I don't think there's any cost numbers here. Do we?
But there has to be a cost, right? Or else it wouldn't say first 2 years.
Yeah, I mean there is a cost. I don't think they're listing it, and I have a feeling it's expensive, dude. Like
it's got to be expensive.
I think these satellite phones are already a little expensive. Like if you buy them non-Apple, because I remember people were like very excited for it come to the iPhone, and I don't really get it because I don't really I don't really go out into the middle of nowhere like this, right. But like people do, so like. There was some excitement, and and it might be because like it's just kind of a pain in the ass to have like a satellite capable phone, right. So and it might be expensive. So like they were kind of like hoping that Apple would be the holy grail here, but it sounds like okay for 2 years you're gonna be good. What happens if you buy a new phone after 2 years? Does your new phone have 2 years free? Like this is questions. These are questions. So. It's a lot of questions. I want to
talk about the eSIM too.
Yeah, so isn't it like all the new iPhones don't have SIM card trays?
Right, that's correct.
Yeah, so like, dude, I'm upset about this. So
I'm
like,
really upset about this. really upset about this.
Yeah. So I haven't used eSIM yet. Have you?
No, I haven't, but I know a little bit about how it works because
I don't.
You and I have used Samsung phones for a while, and like this is something that they've had for years.
Right. So I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was like available to us. Because like I have a SIM card, so like
right. I have a SIM card too.
Like, but I figured
it's really big outside of America.
Isn't that like how you would get your like Apple Watch activated or anything? Like
yeah, Apple Watches have eSIM and like cellular watches have eSIM and stuff too as well.
Yeah. Or like an iPad.
It's super big over like overseas.
Right.
And like it kind of makes sense, right? Like why do we need this physical chip on our phone? You know, like I get it. But at the same time, it's also going to be a big cash grab because, like, if you're the end user, it's just more convenient. It's just better for you. Like if you're the average boy, you know, and you're like, I get a new phone every 2 years, you know, it's fine for you, no big deal, you know. But like, if you're someone like me who's like, oh, I would maybe get an iPhone and keep my fold, it's a nightmare. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's really annoying because like every time I get a new phone, which it's been every year, I just plop my SIM in it, you know, and it just works, you know. Right. Like I've literally had this SIM since like the Fold 2 era. Like I've had iPhones, I've had like all kinds of stuff.
So like here's the kicker too. So like I assume you bought an unlocked Fold, right? I bought an unlocked Fold. So
I've
just put my SIM in.
Unlocked phones like for like forever.
So the problem you have now is, excuse me. Let's pretend for a second that I bought the unlocked iPhone. Okay.
Sure.
And then it came in the mail. I would have to call Verizon and they would charge me a $35 activation fee.
You're fucking kidding me.
Even though I bought an unlocked phone.
So, like, what the fuck? Like, that's $35 for what?
That's Verizon's activation fee. So, like,
it's like, do you want me to use your fucking service or not, dude? Like, fucking
I had to pay $35 when I got my S22 Ultra.
Why?
Because I got it through Verizon.
Okay, wait. Did you have a different provider before? Like, what happened?
No.
Wait, that's just because of Verizon? Just because like you went through them?
That's literally how every carrier works, bro. If you buy a phone from the provider, they charge you an activation fee, $35.
Dude, that's some bullshit. There's no reason.
Correct.
So like you're basically saying like we're rigging the system by having a SIM card right now and being able to like plop it into an unlocked phone.
Yes.
That's crazy to me. So it's basically, it sounds like some carrier bullshit is what we're getting at here.
Well, yes and no. It's better in a lot of ways. I mean, realistically, a carrier shouldn't charge you to activate a new phone on your line anyway. That's where the problem is.
Can I ask a dumb question, actually?
Sure.
So, like, with eSIM, can you have multiple lines on one phone?
Oh, yeah. Our Fold can do it right now.
So, I guess that's one advantage, right?
You could add, like, 90, like not 90, but, like, you could add multiple phone lines on your phone, no problem.
Oh, so that's like, an advantage right there.
So, it's like, it's really popular overseas that, like, you could have your work phone on your normal phone as well.
Oh, yeah, that's super cool. So I guess that's one thing, because I knew that like overseas people would dual SIM all the time, and we never really got a lot of phones with 2 SIM trays. Right. So like I remember people like complaining about that, and I was like, "What's the big deal?" But like I get it. Like I guess with the eSIM, it doesn't matter.
Right, and like that's kind of like why the Fold is cool, because it has physical and eSIM, and it has a whole like SIM card manager, dude.
Yeah, no, I think that's the better way.
It is
right,
better
like
way.
so it's so dumb. Like that they got rid of it. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm very disappointed because that means we can't get the iPhone, dude. Like we just can't.
It's dumb how carriers handle it. I mean, realistically, all that should happen is you should just have to sign in to your carrier via your Verizon account, enter a PIN, and then that phone becomes activated.
That should be it. Like there should be no fee. Like imagine you're like a tech reviewer and you get new phones every week, right? If you had a fucking new phone to test every week and you just wanted to switch your line over to it, you're literally going to be paying $35 every time.
Yep.
Like that's fucking insane. Like MKBHD, watch out, dude, because like
I don't think it matters to him, but yeah.
No.
But like the days of him saying, "So I've had my SIM card in this phone for a few weeks now," they're gone, dude.
No, he can't say that, dude. Like he literally can't. It's physically impossible because he can't put it in there. Like that's stupid, man. Yeah, so I guess, tangent over, but like, yeah, it's a real shame. that they're getting rid of the SIM card
But
tray for me.
like again, you know, for the casual user, for the average user, for the normal person, this is probably a better change for them. It's one less ingress point. Yeah. It's one less thing that they have to worry about. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I know. No, I get it. Like, most people buy phones through their carriers, it seems, and they do like, you know, oh, it's like, oh, my phone's paid off, so I'm gonna get a new phone or some shit. Like, I hear this stuff very often, and I don't really relate to that because like the way I do phones is like, I never do a payment plan. I always pay it like 100%. Like, I know like that, you know,
the other added benefit, I guess, is like, if you're a normie, and like a normie, I mean like someone who's not like us, that's not like insult wise, but like let's say my mother,
right,
you know, bought the iPhone on Verizon from Apple.com,
right,
she wouldn't have to like deal with like the SIM card or the SIM ejection tool or anything. She would just turn the phone on.
Yeah, and then it would just be ready. Yeah.
So
no, I get it. I guess there are some advantages, but like leave it to the carriers to want to
eSIM
bend you
is an
over.
advantage. It's the exploitation of the system that's the disadvantage.
Exactly. Like, I want to use eSIM. I don't want to pay extra fees. Like, we've had to deal with these fees forever now from carriers, and this is just like another way they're doing it in 2022. Like, it's a new way. And I thought we were like getting past the bullshit fees era of like cellular, but
activation fees have been around since the dawn of time.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy. I mean, we've been able to avoid it with like the SIM card, but you know, I haven't had those fees, but it's crazy. But all right. But yeah, so let's move on away from the iPhone 14 and get to the meat, dude. We knew it was coming. Dude. This is it. The iPhone 14 Pro. And it was pretty cool because the leading shot was this purple boy. And you know me, dude. Like,
oh, dude, you love purple, dude. You love purple, bro.
Oh, they call it dark purple or some shit,
Deep
dude.
purple,
oh,
dude,
deep
like
purple.
The band.
Oh, my God. Deep purple. So let's take a look. So first things first, they're showing off the, what do they call it? The island?
Oh, yeah. What's it called? The digital island or something?
Yeah.
The physical island?
Yeah. They call it the island. So it's so funny. It's so Apple to put a name on something that like, I guess nobody really knew what to call it, right? Like the community was calling it like the pill or some shit.
Yeah.
But they were like, nah, dude, this is the island, you know? This is like you're on Hawaii with a Mai Tai, dude. This is good. You love it. You know what I mean? They really market the shit out of it. It's so good. So anyway, let's take a look. Deep purple, gold, silver, space black. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's like black, dude.
Meet the new face of iPhone. Here it is. And you know, I gotta say, they really freaking nailed it.
With God, yeah.
With the
100%,
island.
dude. 100%.
Like, okay, you saw the leaks, right? You knew this was here. You knew it was coming. And I remember on Reddit, people were like, oh, you know that space in between the camera and like the Face ID stuff that's technically got pixels? Like, they were talking about like making like a little notification light there or some shit. And that was like kind of like, because in the renders, in the leaks, like there wasn't like one pill. It was like a bigger pill and then the camera. It was like two, and they were kind of next to each other.
Sure.
So there was like some pixels that it was rumored they were gonna black it out and then use that empty space for like notification lights and stuff like that. So we already kind of thought like maybe they'll use this in like a creative way, but they kind of took it to the next level. So this is like,
too, man. I think that there's one thing that Apple does incredibly well,
right?
And that's just make sure all of their products looks like every design was intentional and not a limitation of their current technology.
Yeah, I completely agree. So like in this sense, like they took a disadvantage, which is the fact that they can't really use like an under screen
display camera because of the Face ID system.
Exactly. And like honestly, those systems have compromises anyway, right?
And like just, you know, being completely honest, I think that the majority of people who use iPhones are really into selfies and social media. So compromising that camera would be a deal breaker for a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. Like the selfie camera on an iPhone is like very important. Maybe not for us, but like it, as far as like social media, like people use that front facing camera. There's a reason it's on the phone, and it's for those people. So it needs to be no compromises as far as quality goes. So like under display camera, cool on the fold, because like if you unfold it, the display becomes the priority. You can still fold it shut and use the selfie, or you can use the the main camera as a selfie camera on the Fold. So the Fold has like
Right.
better ways even to use a camera. But like I think that this was like the best way to really lean into the compromise of having to have like a selfie kind of pill.
Sure.
And then they market it. They make it a feature now. So it's like, oh, this can do some cool stuff, you know? They call it the Dynamic Island.
Dynamic Island, that's what it is, not Digital Island.
Yeah. So the idea, you know, I'm looking at the marketing for it right now. You know, it just gives you a lot of like cool interactions. And I don't know. I think it's genius.
I think so too. I think that they really,
Yeah.
it almost makes me kind of want it just because of how clean the animations look.
Oh yeah, it's super clean. Like
You know what I
it's
mean?
just like rounded. It's like bubbly. Like it just looks put together. It looks
does.
thought out.
It does.
In fact, I think everything about this, whatever iOS version this is, looks kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the new iOS version. I think it looks very clean. I don't know. It kind of, this is why I want to be on iPhone, is for this vibe that it's got.
No,
like-
I was thinking the same thing, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
I'm not going there for the features. I'm not going there for the performance. I'm not going there for, you know, what it can do.
Right.
I'm going there because it just looks fucking cool.
Dude, I
You
know,
know?
dude.
Like-
It just looks like the future, like
It
in a
does.
way. So let's move on to the next kind of, I guess, feature they advertise, always on display. So it's been like a million years and everyone has an always on display. Apple's never done one. And then Apple comes out the gate. They're like, hey, we do an always on display now. And oh, yeah, by the way, we do it better than anyone else has ever done it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of crazy how it's like full screen.
yeah, it's like, yo, yeah, it's great. And it's full color, no
Yeah, dude,
bullshit.
it looks weird.
Yes.
Like weird in a good way. Like not weird like that looks weird. Weird like I don't believe they've done that.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, it's just better. Like I'm looking at my Folds always on display, and I'm like, you look like shit.
Yeah, right.
Like I tried the most to customize it and make it like better, but there's no way to like configure it to be good like
Right.
this. Like this is like what I expect out of an
Have you
always on
used
display.
like good lock and stuff on your phone or no?
No. Well, I in the past I have. Is there
Have
are
you
there
used,
ways
like, the
to
always on, like the always on display change thing?
No. What do we got? Does it adjust it a little bit? I'm curious now because I'm gonna look into it because like I would be interested in tweaking
Yeah.
like
So
the
download
always
Good
on
Lock,
display.
baby.
Okay, I'll check it out. I don't think it's gonna do what the iPhone does here.
No,
but
it does
like,
not do what the iPhone does, but it
yeah.
does a lot more.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm because like it's kind of fun when it does more than just show like a generic time and like the date and like a couple notification bubbles. Like it would just be a little bit nicer. Like this is really well done. I think what iPhone has done here with the always on display.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what do we got here, dude? Another thing they're advertising, obviously the new iOS has the new lock screen. Looks pretty good. We already knew that was coming. They say 2 times brighter in the sun, a display that's up to 2 times brighter.
It's supposedly goes up to 2,000 nits, dude.
I mean, that's pretty good, dude. Our Macs only go up to 1,600 nits.
Yeah, but it's logarithmic, so that's really not that big of a difference.
Yeah, I guess that's a fact. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Very interesting, though. I'm glad that HDR is, like, a big part of their experience, like, going forward, because I want HDR to be, like, mainstream adopted in more ways.
Sure.
And it just hasn't been. It hasn't taken off. I think there's, like, major limitations holding HDR back from being, like, a big mainstream thing. And, like, I don't think we'll see anytime soon it be, like, majorly, like, adapted to everything, but like it's just because like we have such a big issue right now with HDR and tone mapping specifically to each individual display, because like SDR images have kind of been like mastered at this point. You can make an SDR image, like everybody knows SDR, and like they make it look great on every display.
Sure.
Like SDR can be made to look great on every display. HDR, there's all these different standards and differences, and like tone mapping has to happen because a lot of like HDR stuff is mastered for like X nits, but displays can't hit it. So now you got a tone map, and like that looks like ass. You know, like
not good.
It doesn't look good. Like, so HDR just hasn't really been done. And I think a part of that limitation is like we just don't have bright enough displays. So I'm glad that like the Apple displays, at least the top end ones, like they push the nits. So I'm glad to see like 1600
I remember
nits.
like a few years ago, like it was super rare to have a display hit 1000 nits. Like when we were buying the PG27UQ, like
right.
Like 1000 nits was unheard of, dude.
Right. And I mean, that was like one of the very few that had like, you know, good dimming zones and everything too.
Right.
So like that was like a bleeding edge display. Even to this day, there aren't really that many competing HDR monitors, like even to this day. And it's like I'm waiting for like really great HDR displays, and like we just don't really have them. Like, where's the mini LED boys? You know, they're just, where the fuck are they at? I don't know. We got plenty of OLED options, but they don't push enough brightness.
No,
they don't. Even the new Samsung one, which is like their
OLED's super contrasty though, so I would I would almost argue that you don't really need that extreme brightness, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what the problem is? I think that the brightness isn't so bad. Like 800 nits is pretty good, right?
Right.
Like, because 1000 nits, we were getting flash banged. Playing Black Ops and shit. Like, that hurts.
That was rugged.
800 is pretty bright still. The problem is in OLED displays is like if you have ABL, that's the problem.
Oh, dude, it's the bane of my existence. It's honestly like my only complaint with this display.
I think you're right. That's the one problem. Like 800 nits, that's fine, dude. That's bright enough. ABL, no, dude. That's where I draw the line. So yeah, let's keep talking about the iPhone, dude. It's got the SOS shit.
I'm kind of excited about the cameras, to be honest with you. Like,
that's probably the biggest thing.
If you can do like
these
48 megapixel RAWs, like I'm kind of interested to see what they look like, because like the photodiodes are going to be super small, and the glass is going to be compromised, but like no camera really has like an A16 Bionic in it. You know what I mean? So
right. So they said the sensor was like a lot larger than the previous one. And I was already excited about that because physics, right? That means that it's going to be a bokeh boy, right? At least compared to previous iPhones, right? Like it's going to look a lot more natural. If you
remember when I first got, I think the S20 Ultra with that like 100 megapixel sensor.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, dude, that was not portrait mode. You know, like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
And see, the thing about it is like, you know, they say even like the individual like pixels are larger, like on the sensor, more or less. Like, I don't think that's the right terminology is to call them pixels.
The photodiodes.
The photodiodes are larger. They're theoretically going to capture more light. So you're going to have better low light. You're going to have better bokeh because the sensor's larger. So physics, it's kind of like going from like, you know, full frame, like APS-C to full frame or something, basically.
Full frame to medium format.
Yeah, dude. It's like, so you're going to get better just overall. Like, you know, you don't have to fake the bokeh anymore for some photos. Like, you'll get real bokeh theoretically, right? So that's good. Like, that's actually tangible.
Right.
So I don't know, man. Like, what do you think about the camera situation, man? You're the photo guy. You're the photo guy, dude.
I mean, watching that presentation, I'm starting to wonder if there's a time where like we'll get to a point now where like you won't replace physical hardware, but like computational will be good enough. Right. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think we could talk about this for quite a bit because I think you're right, man. Like I think phone cameras, even though we still have physics, like you know, a larger sensor is going to give you, I guess, bokeh performance, right? You're going to get low light performance with a large sensor, but like we're so good computationally now that we can compensate for low light problems. We're so good computationally that we can like add like so much sharpness and clean up the grain and like.
I was gonna say, like when you look at programs like Topaz Denoise AI and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like that's
it blows the mind how good it is.
It really does.
Like it's so like that's the thing, dude. In general, in the industry, like we've been able to do so much with images now. Not just like you see what we're doing with like AI art and shit now. Like
it's crazy.
AI upscaling has like entered a new era. Like we've been able to do like crazy shit, and like being able to clean up an image now, that's like common.
Yeah.
And like we can do it really, really well. So like that's where I feel like these mobile cameras, like they're honestly replacing. They've already replaced like most people having a camera.
They for sure replaced point and shoots for sure.
Yeah, like point and shoots are dead.
Yeah,
like there's still big reasons to get those like A1s and like A7 IVs and stuff. Like
I just want to point out and say that nothing is going to replace a traditional camera for a very long time.
No.
But I'm no longer in the camp of saying it's impossible. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point now. I was on the Z Fold 4 subreddit, and like, I don't know what the circle jerk is right now, but everyone is like posting, "Look at this photo I took on my Fold 4."
That's like part of the new phone ecosystem, right? Because like for the average person, this is their only camera experience,
right?
You know what I mean? So like, if you go on the iPhone subreddit when it comes out, that's going to be the thing.
Yeah, the same thing, right? And look at the new camera, and I'm just like. I'm tired of these posts, but like that's because like I feel like I'm not surprised. I mean, in some of them, I'm like, I mean, damn, that's a good shot, right? Like, because ultimately at that point, like we're at the point where like how good the shot is all about the person taking it, the composition,
right?
The lighting, like the conditions, like the tool is like good enough,
right?
You know what I mean?
No,
so like
no, I vibe with that.
I feel like the tool is good enough. Like the iPhones, the Fold 4, like these cameras are pretty good. Like I was taking pictures of my son, and I was like, dang, like this looks really good. We went to like a little, I don't know, it was like a little farm with chickens and shit, and he's holding a chicken. I took a picture. I was like, dang, like this looks good. Like there's bokeh, he's look really sharp. He pops, like I was like, this is a great photo actually. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I expected worse, and I was like, if I had brought my big ass camera, like that would have been a lot of work to get that same shot. No, I love photography. Don't get me wrong, dude. I just didn't do it. Like I just used what I had on me. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm impressed. Right. So yeah, I mean, that's
a Chase Jarvis quote, by the way.
What is?
He's a famous photographer.
Yeah.
And he's kind of known because someone asked him, what's the best camera? And his answer is the one I have on me.
Yeah.
So
it's true. I mean, it is what it is, man. Like you can get, I mean, shit, dude. Look at the people taking photos with vintage cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like shitty cameras have charm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They do.
You can take good photos with crap tools.
Kind of like that, why people buy like those really old Leica lenses.
Yeah.
Like they're not optically perfect.
Right.
But they're just
that's
optically
why
pleasing.
They like them. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They're just pleasing, dude,
Yeah. So I guess like mostly I'm very happy with the camera improvements. Like we actually have significant ones, I think, this year. Whereas like previous years, it was like, This year it's like, okay, big boy sensor. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm on board. Yeah. So that's like pretty hype. And then like obviously you're getting video improvements, blah 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 blah.
I want to talk about that gimbal stabilization. That was pretty good.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. So they have I have the website here. The idea is what do they market it as? Action mode, right? So the idea is it's like a really aggressive like image stabilization, right? Like a digital one, right? That's basically what we're looking at with this.
Sure.
It's using is it using the wide for this, or is it using something else?
I don't know what it's using for it.
Yeah.
Wides generally have better stabilization by default.
Right, you have more because you're going to have to crop. Like any kind of digital stabilization, you crop. So it's going to have to calculate and crop the image to get it to be this stable. And I got to say, it looks really good. From the demos they showed, I'm very impressed with their stabilization algorithm. Like we've seen it before.
I just want to say that I don't really trust their demos because I got burned real bad on the cinematic mode on video. That thing is awful.
I haven't I remember just playing with it a little bit. It's bad because like
it's a gimmick.
Well, the reason it's a gimmick is really because of their fake bokeh isn't smart enough. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
Right? As much as like they're really good at calculating that stuff, like it's still fake as hell. It's still has big misses on hair and stuff. We memed on it pretty hard, I think, on this podcast, where we were like, look how the demos they showed were like perfect conditions. No one had weird hair. They used like a space suit with like no weird outlines or anything.
With like a white spacesuit.
They used like a
background.
bald guy. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you could be like, yo, Alex, cut out the astronaut, and he'd be like, done. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with these like safety scissors that kids use, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I'm telling you, that's the demo they were using. That's why cinematic mode was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
It's like all their demos were like, I'm a bald guy and you're going to have it pull focus. Like it's going to...
I know, right?
Yeah, it's perfect. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this is a little less gimmicky because it doesn't have really room for error. It just has to do like really good image stabilization algorithm. That's really all it has to do, and use the wide or something. Like we might have like a better. I don't know. It's cool. It's a cool feature. Might as well add it, right? I don't feel like it's a game changer, but we'll see. Maybe people will do some cool stuff with it. Because like it's not like you couldn't take a video and then use like Adobe's like image stabilization or like. You know, I was going to say DaVinci Resolves, but to be honest, their image stabilization sucks.
Yeah, their stave's not that great.
I've like worked really hard to make it work, and like it just is garbage. Like Adobe's image stabilization is way better, like in Premiere Pro. But yeah. But I don't know, man. Better camera, A16 Bionic.
Let me tell you, if I didn't get the Fold didn't exist.
Yeah.
I would get the 14 Pro and the Ultra Watch.
Okay. You wouldn't get like the Max or anything?
Yeah, that's
you get the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the big one, yeah. So I mean, I would get the purple. I would get the watch. I mean, it's a good phone, man. I think that this phone is probably going to be the camera crown again. What do you think? That's the real question, because we have great.
I think so too. I think there's one thing that I do want to address on that front a little bit. Not so much on the camera front, but on the iPhone 14 front.
Okay.
Because I just said like if the Fold didn't exist.
Yeah.
When do you think Apple's going to return to actual form and give us something innovative that isn't silicon?
Okay, so when's the last time we had a new product category from Apple? Like, I'm trying to think.
I don't know.
Because obviously AirPods were a new product category at one point, you know, and now it's like the biggest headphone industry there is. Like, literally, AirPods make more money than like all other audio industry, I think. Like, when it comes to headphones, they're like just Apple's AirPod division makes more than most full-blown audio business.
Yeah, but that's because like they're not targeting people who are into sound. They're just targeting everyone.
Right. Which, you know, I mean, good on them, you know, like that's crazy.
Oh no, I agree. That's not like a complaint.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like
you
know, like Kelly wants to go to the gym. She's like, I'm going to buy AirPods. You know what I mean? She's not going to say like,
it's the household name.
To Worldwide Stereo and buy Focal Utopias. You know?
Yeah, it's the household name, right? Like they have a way of making the product a household name. That's why people call tablets iPads, even if they're not iPads.
Yeah.
That's why
Xerox. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's now the like
I'm gonna go Xerox.
You got AirPods. Like people don't talk about like, oh, you got like wireless earbuds. They're like, oh yeah, you got AirPods. People buy like knockoff AirPods because they look like AirPods, but they're a little cheaper. Like
little cheaper boys.
Yeah, it's like people buy like the AliExpress version. Like, oh, it looks like it's like it's just so funny. It's like you could have bought. You know what? Headphones piss me off the most. Raycons. Yep, you took words right out of my mouth, dude.
Look at me.
Because they suck.
They do suck. They're really bad.
They're like literally like a Chinese like no name like.
Did you ever actually hear Raycons? Because I did.
No, dude.
I did, dude. They sound like they're all treble. Like that's just the best thing I can say about them. Is they're all treble.
You figure they'd be bassy?
No, they're all treble, dude.
No way.
They're all treble all day.
That sounds like shit already. You figure they'd be bassy. Like that's kind of like the cheaper headphone thing to do. Like we're gonna crank the bass up, and then like that'll give you the illusion that they're hi-fi or some shit.
No, these boys have no bass. They are just.
Okay, so they went the opposite direction that Beats went.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, no, dude, treble's the hi-fi.
Treble's the hi-fi,
That's the good shit. No, that's crazy. No, I've had a couple people I've known with Raycons, and like the thing about Raycons is like they just got popular because of the fucking ads. Like they're marketing.
Shadow Legends and Raycons,
yeah,
dude.
It's literally a marketing fucking god tier move because they're just a Chinese no name stamp your logo on these headphones brand. Literally, that's what they are. But the marketing they took off, and like it's like, dude, I'm disappointed that you bought the Raycons.
I didn't buy them.
No, not you, but like all my friends that have bought them, all the people I've known. I'm just like, I'm shaking my head. I don't want to say shit. I want to say shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, yo, man, you made a mistake, but you can buy cheaper headphones that are way better. Anyway, yeah, that was a rant. All right, man. iPhone. So iPhone 14 Pro. I like the new design.
What's the cost, by the way? Did we get a cost increase? Because that was rumored.
So pricing on the Pro is from $999 and Pro Max is $1099. Yeah. So I mean, pretty good. I mean, I'm glad that we don't have a cost increase. I suspected there might be, but we did get Deep Purple though.
I mean, I know you're excited about that, but I can't do purple phone, dude.
I'd probably do Deep Purple. I'd probably do 256.
I would do, if I was buying one today, I would do 14 Pro in, I'm sorry, 14 Pro Max in silver, 512.
Silver looks good. 512 is a good size.
See, like,
I've been
playing a lot of Wild Rift on my phone and occasionally dabbling in Genshin Impact and Call of Duty Mobile.
Nice.
So I've also been downloading music,
right,
to my Spotify, for one reason. I actually use Apple Music a lot, but I've been trying out Spotify because I got 3 months free with my Fold.
Right.
But because if I'm in a lower service area, like if I'm driving on like the Pennsylvania Turnpike or something,
right,
and I have a song downloaded on my phone, it will always play highest quality. Whereas if I'm in like a low service area where I have like 1 bar of 4G, it sounds like ass when I stream it. So if I have the storage, I figured why not, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It's like you might as well just have all your songs like cached.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the advantage.
I have the storage, so I said, why not, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they do that. Even YouTube lets you download videos like cache copies. Like if you like have a watch later, like you can have it auto download all that stuff. Pretty good for plane rides, stuff like that. So I guess it is sometimes nice to have local storage, but you know, when I bought the Fold 4 and I was looking at it, and I went back to my Fold 3 at the end of its 1 year lifespan and I looked at how much storage I used and it was well under 256. So I was
I just looked at mine right now and I'm at 312 used.
Okay. So like in your case, maybe, you know, like for me, if I ended up like hitting that 256 cap, I would just like delete all my 4K videos or take them off the phone, right? Because I have a ton of videos that I just took on my phone, so I would just like copy them off and then delete them, and then I'd be good, right? Yeah. So
also,
like,
especially because like if the cameras are as good as they say they are,
right?
I would want to use maybe that ProRes video at some time, and that eats up space like you wouldn't believe. So,
I mean, yeah, it's the same thing with like high res 4K video and stuff like that. That's already kind of chonky, but like it would be even worse with like the ProRes video. Oh my god, like yeah, it'd be pretty beefy. So I guess having like that's the one use case. Like if you take a lot of videos, then I think the bigger ones would be like useful.
Sure.
Especially if you don't want to be copying off all the time. Like AirDrop, like that's the only way I know to get shit off of your iPhone is AirDrop. I don't know how to like stupid. You're not gonna do like the lightning connection, USB like 2 speeds, dude. It's like insane. Oh, this is pretty funny. So I'm on the which iPhone is right for you page, and they you know, I was checking out, and it was like at the bottom of the checkout.
You were checking out, dude?
Well, I was just like configuring one, like out, you know, and at the bottom, it's funny because they, you know, they have all the phones lined up, and then like they have like Dynamic Island is like a selling point for like the Pro, and then they have it like
dude.
blank everywhere else. Like, there's no dynamic island on this phone or this one.
No dynamic island here, dude.
It's
no
like,
dynamic
bro,
island in sight, dude.
Yep. If it's like, if you want
here,
dynamic
dude.
island, dude, you gotta get that new phone. So yeah, it's pretty funny. It's just funny that they show it like that. They still show the SE. Dude, the SE is like from 429, and then like it's like, ugh. I guess if you want like an absolute cheap boy, but like, dang. So it's $429 for the SE, $599 for 13. They're still selling that. 14 $799, and then 14 Pro is $999 from $999. I mean, so yeah, I don't know. Cool, but we don't care about iPhones apparently right now. So this iPhone, I mean, it gives you what you would expect out of iPhone. Like, to me, the island was a little bit of a curveball, the dynamic island. And I really like what they've done with the always on display, but like, that's not.
Oh yeah, dude. The AOD is so nice.
Yeah, it is. Like, just looking at it in its marketing, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like, they did a really good job on it. But other than that, like, that's not why you buy phones, right? Like really, like, that's like, if you look at the Fold, how much more significant is what the Fold does compared to like a dynamic island or like an always on display? Like, these are nice things. Dynamic island, dude. Like, I'd say the biggest significant upgrade the 14 Pro has is the new camera sensor. But we have yet to really see in real world. We need people to actually take some photos. Like, I can't wait to see MKBHD like put a video out and like, you know, show us like some comparisons and stuff. That'll be good. I was like, is he gonna put out a video today? Like, when's he get the phone? I wonder.
He's had his SIM in it for a few weeks, dude.
Yeah,
his eSIM, dude.
I guess we should wrap this podcast up, but I kind of want to like end it by talking about the Fold a little bit, because we haven't really had the opportunity to.
I mean, we could do that now, or we can do that next podcast, so we have the full podcast. Because I have a lot to say, man.
Yeah, we probably do need the full podcast for it.
I have a lot to say.
Yeah. So I guess that'll be our teaser.
Teaser, dude.
But yeah, let's just talk about the
both folding, and we're not going back.
That's right. That's the teaser.
Tune in next time to find out why.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z, dude.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Well, I guess what was your overall
Galaxy
impression
Fold
of the?
Z.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, the event. What was your takeaway? Your final thoughts?
I'm more pleased with this event than I was with the previous iPhone event. That's probably the biggest compliment I can give it is they gave us more than they gave us last year. You know?
Right. So like, no big surprises, but it was still better than last time. Yeah. That sounds about right. I mean, last year's phone wasn't like anything to me. I was just like, okay, what?
Right.
It was like an S year, but like worse for some reason.
Because we didn't get a new feature.
Yeah, we didn't get really anything that I cared about. So like, at least in this one, like, the new phone has some things that are like significant. But you know what really, I always think back to the change from like the iPhone 7 to the 10. You know, that was like leaps and bounds significant.
That was revolutionary, not evolutionary. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I want to see a revolutionary product. The last one I've seen was like the Fold. I'll say that. The Z Fold was like the last like real revolutionary product for me. And then like, but I wasn't ready to buy the first gen one, right? The second gen was when they finally figured it out.
Right.
And it's been a banger ever since, refining what was already pretty great. So like, I want to see Apple put out like another, you know, revolutionary product. So
I do too.
It'll probably be a while.
I'm excited for the next iPad. I'm probably going to buy the next iPad.
I don't know. I'm the opposite. I'm thinking about getting the next the Galaxy Tab.
Oh, not for me. Not for me. For my mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was in the market too, like, you know, for a new iPad. So I was like waiting for the next one. But then I looked at the Samsung ones, like you were talking about with like the Tab Ultra or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
S8 Ultra.
I want a bigger tablet, but I'm going to wait until the S9s come out to make a decision. But I'm probably going to get one for my mother.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like, we'll see what they do. Hopefully the next gen iPads are great. So let's wrap it up, dude. Yeah. I think we wrap it up.
I think so.
Yeah, let's just hit the music.
Hit them tunes, dude.
Hit the tunes. Thanks for tuning in to the Technosthetic Podcast. It's been a good one. Good Apple event.
Good event.
Yeah, anyway, check us out on YouTube, technosthetic.com, and all the places. Listen to our podcast, and give us a like if you like the video, if you're on YouTube, and give us a subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time on the podcast. It's been good.